Welcome back, guys, to SCUR v3. This is SCUR updated for 1.14, and there are a number of changes that I am still wanting to make, but unfortunately MCPatcher is currently stuck in 1.13. I believe Optifine has been updated to 1.14 already, but it's not updated to the pre-releases or 1.14.1 or 1.14.2 if it were out by now as well. So unfortunately, it's not really something that I've taken much of an interest in using. There's no point in me really backdating to 1.14 now just to make use of Optifine. So for the time being, SCUR is limited to the features that are only working in vanilla Minecraft, but at some point in the future, MCPatcher will definitely be updated to Minecraft 1.14, or when the final version of 1.14 is released. And at that point, we'll be going back and updating some of the other things as well. So for now, there are a few things that I want to go over that are vanilla, as I mentioned. So first of all, we have the corn flower, which is a new flower added by Minecraft 1.14, and I've simply changed the shape of this one to look a bit nicer. Lily of the Valley is one that's been added in 1.14 as well. This is, of course, a reference to Breaking Bad, or simply a reference to the fact that there's this plant in real life called Lily of the Valley. I've just simply changed the colours of this one. So the actual flower heads are a bit more white, and the stem is a bit more green. It's just a little bit more saturated in all ways. The Oxeye Daisy is a combination of the old and new Oxeye Daisy, all kind of mashed together, recoloured, retextured just a little bit, and I think it looks quite good. The mushroom textures are completely original. I actually happened to see the new mushroom textures and realize how much they changed them. And I didn't like the new mushroom textures, but it also made me realize how crap mine were. So I went ahead and redesigned them from scratch. So the brown mushroom is taller and wider, and the red mushroom is shorter and longer and stubbier, if that makes any sense. And yeah, they look good. So there you go. Fossils are now less common. If you look at a giant wall of stone, beforehand, 1 in every 256 stone was a fossil block, but now it's 1 in every 4,000. So it's much more rare that you'll actually find these fossil blocks. I've recently been playing a bit of survival Minecraft, so it's kind of come to light the fact that they're too common. So I've just toned down how common they are quite a lot. In terms of blocks that I've kept and changed from the new Minecraft 1.14 textures, there aren't actually that many. In terms of blocks, it's primarily leaves, which we'll go over in just a second. But in terms of items, there is one item in all of Minecraft 1.14 that I've opted to keep the texture for, and it's emeralds. There isn't a single item added by 1.14 other than emeralds that I prefer over the old textures. So emeralds are the only new things, because I think they actually look really, really good. So there you go. In regard to blocks, we have leaves. Leaves have been changed around quite a bit. I've opted to keep the new oak leaves, the new birch, jungle, acacia, and dark oak. However, I am sticking with the old spruce leaves, simply because I think these ones look a little bit better. They're a little bit more random. They look a little bit more brittle, which is, in my opinion, what pine needles should look like, or spruce needles, if that's a thing. I don't really know. But there you go. Essentially, we've changed all the leaves except spruce. That's the only real change. Birch look different, jungle look different, acacia look very different, and dark oak look like a slight variation on oak. And the reason why I like these new leaves so much is because I feel like with them all being quite different now, it gives you many options for building with leaves. And I also just think they look better as well. I've never really wanted to touch the leaf blocks because I realised how easy it would be to mess up with them. So thank you, Mojang, for actually doing a decent job for once and making the blocks look nicer. Other than that, we have glowstone and magma. I think the new glowstone blocks look better. Very, very simple. Magma blocks are a slight combination of old magma blocks, new magma blocks, and also current netherrack as well. Netherrack is actually currently the same as it was before, as you can see there. Netherrack is just exactly the same. It's pretty simple. So of course, making the magma blocks have a slight integration with regular netherrack as well was quite important. And again, I have lots of plans for how better to do this at some point in the future using MCPatcher overlays, but we just haven't gotten to that stage yet. So maybe we'll do that at some point in the future, but not today. I've also changed the chorus flower head as well to have this kind of white texture, which is from the new Minecraft 1.14 textures. And again, I just think it looks really nice. So there you go. So of the new textures, there are quite a things that I've changed. First of all, the barrel is probably the most simple change. I've simply changed the top to no longer have that sort of like metal circular bit on the side of it. I'm not entirely sure why it was there, to be honest. It just makes it look a little bit odd. I've recently gotten into the habit of building with these things because I think they actually look really nice just for use in building. And the weird metal ring on the top face made it kind of incompatible with a number of blocks that would otherwise be really good with it. So I simply removed it, and I think it makes it a little bit better for building now. Otherwise, it still looks very, very similar, if not exactly the same, and I do just quite like the texture of the barrel in general. I think it's a good-looking block. Moving on from that, I've actually changed the furnace smoker, and blasting furnace quite a bit. And when I say blasting furnace, I do mean blasting furnace, because in my opinion that makes more sense than just blast furnace. But that's just a personal thing, so I don't know. But yeah. So with regard to all of these blocks here, as you can see, I have actually changed them all quite considerably. My initial thought was the fact that the blast furnace was asymmetric, which annoyed me. So I've simply enlarged the size of the grills, making it symmetrical. So now they are in the exact middle of the block, and everything is satisfying once again. I've also given the texture for the glowing a little bit of an animation. As you can see there, it sort of pulsates between the flames a little bit, which looks quite nice. And also we have the smoker, which has had a similar kind of treatment. I realized the smoker is one of the most disgusting blocks I've ever seen in Minecraft, if I'm completely honest. I saw this block for the first time and I just thought, what on earth were they thinking? What on earth were they thinking? So originally this texture is kind of like a furnace, but it has a window, it has like an open front section, it's got these wooden kind of stilts around it. It had like a cobblestone texture on the side and like a weird smoothed version of cobblestone on the top. And just most importantly, it had a metal door which closed shut when it was on a flat two-dimensional surface. It really, really, really annoyed me, to be honest. It made no sense. It followed no rules of how Minecraft texture should work. It looks really, really dumb. If you don't believe me, go into a world now. You will realize that if you put a smoker next to a lit smoker like this, you will see there is a drastic difference. There's a little metal rectangle here which swings shut when it's on like a door. And believe me, if there was a 3D model for that, it would look really sweet, and I'm sure someone will do it very soon. But for now, no. No is the simple answer. So I've simply added an animation to the furnace texture. I've simply changed around quite a bit of the smoker to have the furnace texture underneath with the new wooden stilts overlaid over the top of it, with a larger area for smelting your items in, and sort of giving the wood a little bit of a smoother animation as well, as you can see there. And of course, as I mentioned, the blasting furnace now has larger grills where you put items in theory as well. So all three of these have been changed quite a little bit. Furnace now has animations, this has been completely redone, and this is now symmetrical, so all good. The campfire has been changed about a little bit. I've already seen a lot of people using campfires to make roof patterns, and also platforms and floors for like bridges and things like that. And I think it is a really good use of an item like this, especially when it's in its extinguished form like this. So what I've done is I've simply removed the black gritty thing from the base of it, which means that it makes a lot more sense and looks a lot more pretty when using it for building as well. As for the lit campfire, the flame is more orange, more yellow, as is the case with every single flame in SCUR. It's just more yellow, more bright, more saturated. I just think it looks generally quite a bit nicer. The lectern no longer has a bookshelf on the front. Yeah, simple. The cartography table has been changed around a little bit. The map icon inside the cartography table has been changed a little bit as well. It had like a really dark grey outline for some reason, and I've simply removed it. Now, my immediate reaction was that if I removed that, maybe it would look too close in colour to the background, but it doesn't, so I don't really see what the issue was. But there you go. Cartography table looks a little bit different as well. The enchantment table has had the dark grey outline for lapis removed, and the loom has been completely changed. In Minecraft 1.14, we have these new things called banner patterns, which represent the flower charge, creeper charge, skull charge, Mojang logo, and also this new thing called the globe pattern as well. I keep wanting to call this a skull. I'm not sure why. I've done it a couple times now, but it's called a globe, okay? A globe. Globe. How you should say it. As you can see here, these things have been completely redone. The banner patterns had a weird sideways 20-degree to the left section, like image. It was really strange. It was just sort of like pixelated on its side and didn't really fit the theme of having 16-bit textures. So I simply redid the entire thing. There is actually now a base image inside the custom folder, which has the base banner pattern, and on top of it, I have added the flower charge and the creeper charge and the skull charge and the Mojang logo, which is called the deity banner, which I think makes a lot of sense considering that Mojang are basically gods to Minecraft, and also the globe pattern as well, which looks like a little globe. Now the globe has actually been changed around quite a bit, but we'll go over that one in just a second as well. But as you can see in here, the GUI for the loom has been changed so that you have this banner pattern type shape representing these things inside the loom as well. I've also changed the dye section to have the bone meal pattern, just kind of referencing the fact that bone meal used to be a dye, basically. I think that's just kind of an interesting point to make. Moving on, we have the dyes, the new dyes. We have brown dye, blue dye, black dye, and white dye. For any of you that missed it, Dyes are now all independent of their resource. So, for example, cactus green and cactus have always been separate, but bone meal and white dye have always been the same thing, but not anymore. Cocoa beans can now be crafted into brown dye, lapis can now be crafted into blue dye, ink sacs can be crafted into black dye, and bone meal into white dye, and these are now independent items from their originals. So what I've done with these is simply given them new textures again. So the brown dye now has the same texture as light blue dye, but retextured to be brown. The blue dye now has the same texture as orange dye, but retextured to be blue. I've kept the ink sac one the same because I think it already looks quite good. This is the black dye, how it looks naturally. I just wanted to showcase it because it kind of goes in with this set, but I think it looks really nice. And white dye has the sort of generic dye color which goes along with, you know, magenta, lime, purple, pink, and all those other dye colors that just have this very, very generic sort of like circular color. I considered doing this for all three of these as well, having this texture but recolored blue and recolored brown, but I thought it was just a little bit more interesting to give them some variation, if nothing else. And here we go, the globe pattern has been changed on banners. It now looks like the SCUR logo. It's obviously not exactly like the SCUR logo because it has been scaled down in terms of pixel size, but that's fine. It still looks good, in my opinion. I think it looks pretty neat. We also have the SCUR logo on a shield. I think it looks quite good, actually. But yeah, there you go. So the globe is now the SCUR logo because the SCUR logo is a globe. I think that just kind of makes sense, to be honest. In terms of some language changes, the grindstone now says grindstone inside the grindstone, which makes sense. The anvil now says anvil inside the anvil, which again makes sense. And the stone cutter has been changed to the sawmill. Now, this is actually a direct reference to SMR, which is my custom data pack for recipes and such, because what that does is it allows you to be able to craft wood out of wooden logs using this thing. So for example, if I was to take a stack of dark oak wood, we can actually craft them into more dark oak planks. And that is actually a part of my data pack, which you can download from my website. You can see the tutorial. It's one of my most recent videos on my channel as well. So if you are interested in getting that as well, custom recipes, custom data pack, it can all be found here. And again, the sawmill has been changed from stonecutter to sawmill in reference to these changes as well. So I'm kind of assuming now that if you have my resource pack, you're also going to have my data pack. Just assuming, basically. And yeah, as I mentioned, anvil is called anvil. Horse armor has been massively reworked. I think it actually looks pretty nice now. Iron, gold, and diamond and leather horse armor. There's now 4 variants of horse armor in the game. Leather horse armor can be dyed any color, similarly to leather armor, which I think is quite nice. We have red leather armor, yellow, green, blue, and they can all be put on horses, and you can have your horse have any color armor on the color spectrum. I think it looks really nice, actually. I actually quite like giving a horse black horse armor, and then you can kind of like make it look a bit purple by adding a bit of purple to it, and then you can get like a dark colored horse, and you've got like Ganondorf's horse from Legend of Zelda. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, one of the main changes I've made to all these armor types, though, whether it be iron, gold, diamond, or any of the leather variants, is they all now have a black central section, as you can see here. Black, black, black. Weirdly enough, all these armor types had a very different texture for each one. For example, the diamond armor would have like a yellowy middle bit. The gold one had like a very red and black texture. And the iron horse armor had like a very red and brown middle section. And the horse had the very basic brown one, which is actually kept just a generic brown color, as you can see there. This looked kind of strange in my opinion. It didn't really make any sense, so I've simply changed it so that all the horse armors now have the exact same middle section. It's only the actual armor bit itself which has any variance, and this just means it's a little bit easier to color coordinate your horse. It also just makes more sense. I don't know why armor would have different colors when there's no color gone into the crafting recipe or anything like that. And as you can see there, the leather horse armor now has a different icon in inventory as well. It has the same kind of icon as the other horse armors. I don't know how obvious it is as well, but I've also turned up the saturation on gold horse armor and diamond horse armor because I think it just looks a little bit nicer as well. So here they are all in game. We have leather, iron, gold, and diamond. I think they all look quite good. Yeah, it looks good. There you go. Last up, we have the villager. I have some big plans for you, buddy. Big plans for the villagers. As some of you will know, villagers have been massively overhauled recently, and I dislike. I really dislike it. I knew this was coming from a while ago, and I realized that it would be a big task, but it would also be one of the most fun things I do with the most recent updates. I haven't started it yet, because it'll probably be coming in version 3.1 or 3.2, but I plan on reworking the textures of every single variation of villager, of which I think there's about 60, if not more. So I'm going to be reworking the textures of every single one. It's going to look closer to the old villagers, but also more unique. It's going to be more obvious what profession they have, etc., etc. Because I think the new textures are absolute trash. There's no better way of saying it. I think they're pure and utter trash. So we're going to be getting around to fixing your textures at a later date, aren't we, buddy? You're never going to look the same again. So for now, all I've done is just change the GUI. If I get myself some emeralds, I can showcase this. So if I put some emeralds in here and choose to buy some paper, as you can see, his experience bar is now blue and it isn't broken up, weirdly enough. There you go, it's blue. That's it. It's just blue. I agree. So yeah, there are going to be big changes to the villagers coming. MCPatcher integration is going to be back with the next update. If MCPatcher does get released, version 3 will be released with all the Optifine features included, but right now they're just not working simply because Optifine isn't yet ready for Minecraft 1.14.1, which I'm recording this in right now, Minecraft 1.14.1, as you can see there. I had 500 FPS then. What the hell was that? Did you all see that? 500 FPS. That was crazy. But yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoy, guys. I really do hope you enjoy these textures. I've started posting a few of my updates on Reddit occasionally, and they do seem to get quite a number of upvotes, which is really, really nice, including this skin that I've also recently designed, which is the Quantum Realm suit from Avengers Endgame. If you haven't already seen it, I recommend go watching it. It's a brilliant movie, but only if you're actually an existing Marvel fan. And if you're not an existing Marvel fan, I say get the fuck off my channel, because you have no taste in modern social milestones. Because, yeah. I don't care if you don't like superheroes or not. Avengers is one of the biggest things to ever happen in our generation. So go watch it, bitch. So there you go. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed my showcase of the textures upgraded for Minecraft 1.13 and also some of the new changes we've made to the new blocks, new items, new everything else. Again, you can download this from my description. As always, the link to the download will be on my website. I've actually recently figured out how to do an instant download link, so you'll no longer have to go through Mediafire or any of that crap. You just simply press the download button and it will download instantly, which is a really, really nice feature as well. So anyway, if you enjoyed the two features, leave me a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Yeah, just I like feedback. Feedback's fun. Bye.